Hi everybody, this is Osvaldo Aliste, and today I will be talking about Unpack standard for Module 6, Activity 1. Korea Wales International Christian School includes the book Sueña Uno. For their Spanish program, this institution uses the Common European Framework of Reference for Language. Now, a little bit of this book. The method for Sueña is based on Cervantes Institute, and it has been recognized by this institution. It's a very big institution in Spain, and the levels of Spanish as a foreign language, L, has been classified into 6 levels: A1 and A2 for lower and upper basic, B1 and B2 for lower and upper intermediate levels, and finally C1 and C2 for lower and upper advanced. The book Sueña Uno was developed in collaboration with the University of Alcalá with a group of professors, and over the last years it has been extensively tested with foreign language students there. Successfully integrates linguistic variants and cultural information relevant to both Spain and Latin America. On the other hand, we have Instituto Cervantes, which is a public institution created by Spain in 1991 for the promotion and the teaching of the Spanish language and for spreading of Spanish and Spanish American culture. At Wales Christian International School, I used to teach just the very basic level, which is A1, to a mixed group of middle and high school students. The standard that I will be analyzing is the Unit 1, Who Are We? This unit is divided into 2 sections. The first section is, What is your name? The second section is, How are you? Well, based on the unit objectives, students will be able to learn how to greet people, spell their names and last names, introduce themselves and introduce other people. They will also be able to talk about their age, their nationality, the language that they're able to speak, their country, and the language that is spoken in different countries. They will also ask and say their home address, their phone number, and they will be also learning how to answer the phone and ask for someone. Now, there are 2 reasons why I chose this standard. Number 1, students can have their first experience and start developing communicative skills with peers. And the second one is that students can start working and developing receptive and productive skills from the very first class. Regarding to big ideas in the standard, well, students not only can build a strong base in Spanish, but also they can learn pronunciation and intonation to express their first words and sentences in the target language. It is very important to mention that students will be working with 21st century skills such as collaboration, communication, social skills, initiative. They will be constantly involved in activities such as peer interactions, asking and answering questions, and often interact with the teacher in order to receive feedback and corrections. The skills that the student will be using to meet the standards will be listening and speaking at first, because students will be listening to the teacher and repeat words and simple sentences, follow and practice pronunciation and intonation, and they will be also learning vocabulary in context by just listening and repeat, doing that like a drilling activity with a teacher. The method that the teacher will be using then will be the audiolingual method in order to learn structures, pronunciation, some basic grammar features through an active repetition. Therefore, during the classes, students will be exposed to dialogues where they have to practice with a partner, and they will be able to learn vocabulary, learn how to ask and answer questions. Then later, they will be completing some activities such as like asking their partner's names, their last names, and so on. Some of the drilling activities that students will be working with a tutor will be practicing the alphabet to check pronunciation, to learn the sound of every consonant and vowel, as well as the first numbers in Spanish, countries and nationalities, and also they will be learning vocabulary related to occupations. Some of the activities that students will be working on during the class will include everything that they have learned during the classes, and students will work on activities that help them to meet the standards, such as like working with a peer, ask and answer questions such as what's your name, what's your last name, where are you from, how old are you, and so on. Questions that will help them to achieve and practice vocabulary, use a proper pronunciation and intonation when asking and answering questions. For activity 2, students will be working individually. They have to prepare a self-introduction, and they will at first try to work with a partner and practice, and later they will need to go in front of the class and introduce themselves and introduce a partner. For these two formative assessments, it is important that students are able to mention their names, their age, the language that they speak, occupation, and other details as they wish using the grammar that they have learned in class.